Welcome back to Magic Tarot Cards. It's Jasmine. I have a 7-card spread here for you. Y'all, this is going to be about DMX, Earl Simmons, final thoughts and feelings. I was trying to wait at least a day to give him time to, realize what happened to him. First, I'm going to say that this video is not made for kids. If you're under the age of 18, please click off now. Everything else is in the disclaimer box since we are talking about another person here. YouTube rules requires you to, put everything up in the disclaimer box. In no way is this video made to disrespect him or his family members or to defame his name. Okay, so let's get that straight. Don't get it twisted in the comments. Also, he was one of my favorite rappers, so, I don't have nothing ill to say about him. Everything that you're going to hear here comes from my spirit guides, my tarot cards, and my own psychic intuition, and does not reflect my own personal thoughts and feelings about him. So get that straight. And I do have one message for other tarot card readers. I know several of you come and watch me read. Do not leave your information, your links for your page in my comment section. Do not come on my page trying to promote your page off of my page, okay? Do not do that because they will be deleted and you will be blocked. I don't care if you watch. Do not try to steal my information or my style or anything that I post. This is my brand, and you do not have permission to copy anything that I do or say, because I've had several tarot card readers come on here and they leave their links to their page trying to promote themselves off of my page. Do not do that, okay? This is the only warning I'm giving you about that, because I'm telling you, that's not going to happen here, all right? I don't do that to your page. Don't do it to mine. Do your own work. I do my own work. You do your own work, all right? So let's get started with the reading. So I meditated a lot with this to try to tap into his energy. And I believe I have a lot of messages here from him. Okay, so for the first one, we have the 10 of Wands. This represents his life while he was earthbound. He had many struggles. He had a very hard life, even though he was a rapper and had money. That money doesn't solve everything. Money doesn't have a cure for diseases or addictions or anything like that. So it does want you to know that his life was hard here on earth. You see how the man is bending over, carrying all these wands. These wands are weighing him down. All these wands represent his life, everything in his life, which was money, family, job, friends, love, and so on and so forth. So that's what this card represents, that his life was heavy. Not only was he carrying his burdens, but he was carrying other people's burdens as well. He was carrying his past burdens, his childhood burdens. Every burden that a person could possibly be carrying, he was carrying. So his life was very heavy, okay? Which, I feel sorry for him, because at an early young age, he was abused. And he also had addictions as a very young age. So he didn't really stand a chance to, be the person that he was meant to be. I do feel, I'm going to say this right now, I do feel like he missed his calling. I do feel like he was supposed to be, honestly, y'all, and this is going to sound weird to some of you, I feel like he was supposed to be a preacher. Okay, but he got into the music business, but I feel like he missed his calling and went into the music business, which led to this right here. All right, so we all have a calling. Some of us find it in life and some of us don't. Okay, but we all have a calling that God put in us, that we were called to do a certain thing in life. Okay, and I do feel like he missed his calling, which would have been a preacher. Okay, so moving on. Now we have the Tower. The Tower, of course, sorry, I can't reach. Yeah, I'm still healing from my recent procedure I had done, so I'm still in pain. Not a lot of pain, y'all. It's getting mild, but I'm still having a hard time moving around. I'm going to be down for a whole month, so I'm home, okay? Here we have the tower. The tower is unexpected event. This was a huge unexpected event, not only for himself, but for his family members and the whole world. We did not see this coming. He is saying he did not see this coming. So basically, this is what this card is: unexpected event, something that shocked us, that threw us into a spin. It most definitely threw him into a spin, and he was completely shocked that this happened to him. After he passed and he went into the spirit form, he was very confused, very lost and confused. He did not know he had passed. He did not know what had happened to him, because as you remember, he had a stroke. From there he went into a coma, and then from there he passed. So he did not know that he had died at first. He did not know that he had went into a coma. He did not know that all this happened to him until he woke up in the spirit world. So it was a huge, huge shock for him that he's still trying to get over and understand and move forward. But I do see him knowing now what happened to him. He does know what happened to him, and he is processing it. Okay, he's processing it. It's going to be a big process for him. All right. Yeah. So now we have the Two of Cups. This is Two of Cups. This is the cup of love. This is going to represent several things in his life, okay? This represents him giving love and then receiving love. This is usually for two people, but I do feel like in this case, this is him showing love not only to other people, but to everybody else. He loved his family. He loved his children. Even though he didn't speak to some of them, he doesn't mean that he didn't, okay? He had a lot of issues in his mind and emotional issues that he had to deal with that kept him from being very emotional and showing love the way he really wanted to, okay? You got to remember, when a person's on drugs or does drugs, it alters their moods, okay? So that's just plain and simple fact. All right, so, but it doesn't mean that he didn't love people. It doesn't mean that he didn't feel that in his heart. So right here, he is saying that he did have much love for all the people that were in his life. And he wants to make that clear, that there is a lot of love in his heart for everyone that was in his life and that touched him. All right, so next we have the Magician. Y'all, this isn't going to be very long. Next we have the Magician. The Magician is when you can manifest anything you want to. And I am seeing here that he had the power to manifest his life the way he wanted to. Okay, and he did try. Towards the end of his life, I am seeing that he did make his peace with God. In his own, he did have a personal relationship with God. He tried very hard to make his peace with God. And he knew the scriptures of the Bible because he would quote them, okay? He knew them, and he knew that that was the way to live and the way to be. But again, the addictions that he had were too great. You know, once you become your body becomes chemically addicted to something, it's very hard to break, and that was his downfall. It wasn't that he was a bad person or that he was an evil person or anything like that. A lot of people think just because someone's on drugs that they're evil. No. Once you start something like that, the body depends on it, and the chemical addictions become huge, and they're very, very hard to break. That's why it's very hard for drug addicts to, and I'm not saying he's a drug addict, so don't misquote me in the comments, y'all. Don't get it twisted. I'm just talking about in general, people that once you do chemicals like that, your body depends on them. And some of them are so harsh that they are hard to break. I had a friend that told me he shot up something once in his arm. And from that point on, the next thing I knew, he had robbed a bank and went to prison. And he wasn't that type of person. And he told me he didn't even know he had done that until he woke up in prison and already had been to court, to trial and everything. And he was in prison, and he didn't even know he had done that because the drug that he had taken was so harsh, and his body kept depending on it, so he kept doing it. He said that was the biggest mistake of his life, was trying it just one time. So again, back to DMX, he did have the power to manifest anything he wanted to in his life, and he did try. He did have a personal relationship with God, although a lot of us did not see that because that was personal and private. But he did pray. He did read the scriptures. He knew the scriptures very, very well, and he knew what he had to do to get there. He tried to get to that road. He wanted to live that kind of life. He wanted to live the life that God wanted him to live. But again, the chemical dependency was very, very strong that led to his demise. All right. But don't think that he didn't, because he did. He did in his heart. He wanted that in his heart. And because of that, I do see him moving towards the light. I don't see him in a bad place because God knew his heart. All right. Now, here we have the two of wands in the reverse. Swords in the reverse. In the upright, it means indecision, don't know which way to go, which way to turn. But now it is in the reverse for him, which means a decision has been made. I do feel like this was showing that right when he passed, he was earthbound. Again, confusion, because it fell right underneath the tower here. Confusion, didn't know what was happening to him, which way to go, which way to turn. But now he is understanding what has happened. So now he has chosen a path. Okay, what is the path that he has chosen, which fell right next to the hangman? The hangman means ascending. He has ascended, is ascending, or in the process of ascending, moving on. His spirit is moving on and up, because he does now know what happened to him. He does understand what happened to him. So he is moving up to where he's supposed to be. I do see him finding the light. You see that light shining on this man's head. He's hanging on a cross. He's very passionate about moving forward, moving in the direction of the light. Okay, that's all that's on his mind right now. And he's very passionate about it because that's what he always wanted to do. He always wanted to move in that direction. Again, the chemical dependency was very hard for him and, led him astray. But in his heart and in his mind, he knew that he needed to move in that direction in his life. He again, I keep hearing, he's quoting that he knows the Bible verses. He knew them. This is what he wants everybody to know. He knows those verses. He knew the word of God. He wants everybody to know that. Okay. He would read the Bible. Okay, he knew he was good at it. That's why I say he missed his calling. I feel like he should have been a preacher, that he was meant to be a preacher, and I think he would have been a great one. But he missed his calling due to his lifestyle and some choices he didn't have. As a child, he grew up this way, so a lot of it wasn't his fault. But as we become adults, we do make our own decisions, and we are responsible for our own decisions. But once you become chemically dependent on something, it's very hard to break, which sometimes, it leads us astray. But he is moving in that direction. For the final one, he is saying, because this is when someone's off in a journey. This is the Eight of Cups. You see, they left their whole life behind. These cups represent everything that was once dear to them, their life, their money, their family, friends, and everything. And they leave that behind and go off on a new journey, which is something he was seeking in his heart towards the end. He was seeking a new journey. He's saying that he was moving in the direction that God wanted him to move. Okay, he was getting there. But then this happened and he passed away. But now that he is, see, this fell right after the ascending card. So now he is ready to move forward. He's happy. He's happy that he no longer has the chemical dependency because, he's not in the body anymore. And now he can finally get to the place that he always wanted to be here on earth, which was the path of light, the path of direction that God wanted him to be. And he's saying that that from this moment on, he's going to be moving in that direction, that nothing is going to stop him from moving in the direction that God wants him to move, finding the light and living that life. He's free. I'm hearing the word free. He's free. He's saying he's free from all those addictions. He's free from what plagued him here on earth. His spirit is free, and he's actually happy about it. He wants to move up and go in that direction that God wants him to go. And I do believe that he will get there. I do believe he will find the light. I do see him moving in that direction. I don't see nothing bad for him. God is a forgiving God. God is a great God, and God has his arms open for us, for all of us that want to move towards him. God is there. He's just waiting for you. All you have to do is move in that direction. And this is what he wants everybody to know. All right. God is there. God is real, and he wants you to move in that direction. And that's exactly what he's going to do. He's saying that nothing and nobody's going to stop him now from seeking that. He has a new life now, and he has a life that he always wanted to have while he was earthbound. But now it's so much easier for him to get there because he's not in the body form, and the body was no longer working for him, especially with all the addictions he had. So sometimes God takes you out like, okay, let me give you an example. I had a lady that had called me one time because her son had drowned in a river, but he was mentally ill. Okay, and he suffered a great, great deal. And he was only like maybe 18 years old, but even all his life he suffered and suffered. And she couldn't understand why God took him so early. And I told her, I said, when your body doesn't work for you anymore, God doesn't leave you in it. He's not going to leave you in your body to suffer and suffer and suffer. He'll just take you and put you out of that misery so your spirit can be okay. And sometimes this is why people don't understand death. Oh, this person died at an early death. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Well, we don't know what was going on with them. You know, we don't know what they were suffering. So God takes you out of that physical body that's giving you all this physical misery, and then moves you on. Because again, when the body no longer works for you, God doesn't leave you in it. Okay. So once I told this lady that, she was finally able to make peace with the death of her son. And I just talked to her not too long ago. She had called me and she says, you don't know how much you helped me get over the death of my son. She says, because she could not get over it. She could not get over it. She could not understand. But once, I explained things to her and did readings for her and everything, she finally understood that her son was at a much better place. And she was able to move on. And now she's a happy person. All right, she'll never forget her son. She carries that love for him always, but she's able to function now in the normal world without grieving so much because she finally understood what I was talking about. All right, so continue to pray for DMX, y'all. He needs all the prayers that he can get. Help him move into the light by lighting a white candle, praying for him, because he is going to get there. I don't see nothing bad for him because in the end, he did try. He did make his peace with the Lord, and he tried as hard as he could. He knew the scriptures. He knew the scriptures better than some priest out here know the scriptures. And that's it, y'all. He's moving in the right direction. All right, y'all, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll be reminded when I upload another video. See you next time. Bye-bye.